That's right, baby. It's time for Movie Trailer Trash. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to Movie Trailer Trash. My name's Charlie.
And I'm Bethany.
And before we start, we'd like to mention that you can go to our description, or anywhere on our website, really. You can click the link, you can go, and you can get yourself a free 30-day audible.com trial with two free audiobooks.
Yep.
And you could even make one of them Fahrenheit 451, a novel originally published in 1953 by Ray Bradbury. And
that's what we're going to be talking about today.
that's what we're going to be talking about today. Not the novel, not the 1953 novel. That's not why you tune in to Movie Trailer Trash. Not for novel talk. You tune in for movie talk.
But you click the link for novel talk.
And even though this is a TV movie, technically, because it's a
made-for-TV movie.
HBO movie.
Yeah, but it's HBO.
This is all of the budget and, cast and acting power of a movie that comes out in theaters.
Yeah, it's a big movie, I guess you could say, but it is HBO.
So Fahrenheit 451, starring Michael B. Jordan and Michael Shannon, and also Sophia Boutella or something like that. She's the girl.
I got
in
no
it,
clue.
and she is in a lot of other big movies fairly recently. She was in The Mummy, which I heard
that was bad. Real bad.
I heard it was really bad, but she was
the
in
trailer.
it. She was also
bad.
in Atomic Blonde, Kingsman, the Secret Service.
She's the girl that she makes out with in Atomic Blonde.
And Star Trek Beyond. She is the done-up alien in Star Trek Beyond.
I wouldn't know, but okay.
Yeah, you do. You know that.
She's the
white
alien?
the white and black alien, the girl with like the staff.
When they're on that planet that doesn't know of other people and they think they're a god?
No.
Oh, then I have no idea what you're talking about.
She's one of the main characters in Star Trek Beyond.
Is Star Trek Beyond the first Star Trek?
No, it's the most recent one.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm lost.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so yeah. Regardless, if you want, you can go and listen
She's
to the
new
Audible
and hot.
book.
She's new and hot and hot.
Okay,
She's ready to go.
Calm down. All I'm saying is, as Charlie mentioned, click on the link, get your free Audible trial, and if you want, you can listen to this book, or you can just hear what we have to say about the trailer and go see the movie.
That too.
Or whatever you want.
You can go. You can
do what you want.
You're gonna have to watch it in the comfort of your own home. I don't believe that there is a theater option. If you were at the Cannes Film Festival, you were able to see it though.
Okay, so let's talk about who's in it. I mean, you just mentioned all of it, but let's talk about Michael B. Jordan for a second.
Okay, let's talk about Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan is the main character of this movie. He plays Guy Montag. If you needed any more proof,
I was wondering what his last name was. They said Montag, and I was like, what kind of a name is that?
If you needed any more proof that this book was written in the 50s, the character's name is Guy Montag.
So,
and here's what goes on with his character. He is a fireman.
Yep.
Which means that he is in charge of burning books because books are now illegal because the powers that be think that they have too much knowledge in them and they don't want people to know stuff. They want to keep them dumb.
A dumb population.
And so he goes around and burns books, and then eventually he meets this woman, Sophia Boutella, probably is how you say her name.
Uh-huh.
And he has a change of heart. He kind of starts reading the books.
He starts to think critically about it.
Questioning his orders. And so Michael Shannon is the bad guy in this who keeps telling him to read the book or to burn the books. And
he does tell him to read a book. He's like, read it and you'll see that it's insanity.
yeah. He's very intense.
Okay. So, but what was it? Were you watching that the other day with me? We saw Michael B. Jordan, or no, we read. Okay. I read it aloud to you.
Michael B. what?
The other day I was reading an interview that somebody had with Michael B. Jordan and Denzel Washington, and Michael B. Jordan mentioned this movie. And he said that, he wasn't into it at first because he didn't see how that character would be something he could really relate to or get into. And then the director, I think it was, called him and convinced him. So whatever it was, he convinced him, and he also let him give feedback on, what would make this character something you would enjoy playing. So that's interesting to me that they had some collaboration there. a little bit,
Uh-huh.
so that he could create the character he wanted to create. It may not be exactly like the character in the book. I'm not sure. But Michael B. Jordan is amazing. And a friend of mine today was talking about him, and she had never seen him until Black Panther. And she was like, I freaking love Michael Bay Jordan. And I was like, Michael Bay Jordan? She's like, yeah, I call him Michael Bay Jordan because he's my bae. And I thought that was pretty
I thought
brilliant.
it was like a Michael Bay reference.
Nope.
Oh.
I thought that was pretty brilliant, though. 'Cause
Michael Bay Jordan.
He's such a bae.
He's
But anyway,
such a bay.
yeah. But anyway, he's amazing. And so I was naming off a bunch of his movies that were great for my friend to watch. Fruitvale Station, which you still haven't seen, Charlie.
And I probably won't. Not because it's not
It's so
because
good.
it's bad, but because I don't know, it's
Because
a little
it's
heavy
sad.
for me.
Fruitvale Station, Chronicle, and Creed are the top 3. I sent her a text. I was like, these are the 3 if you want to watch awesome Michael B. Jordan movies.
Michael B. What?
So, Jordan. So, what I'm saying is, for those of you who haven't seen him very much, maybe you've only seen him in Black Panther, he really is an amazing actor. Especially Fruitvale Station. When I saw that movie, I was like, whoa, this guy is going to be somebody. And that was actually his first movie because he had been in several different TV shows before that. And it's very powerful. So I recommend it. It's not a super long movie, but it is a sad movie based on a true story, but totally worth it.
Yeah. But so the director that you were talking about,
Mhm.
he also wrote this movie or adapted it, I guess.
Okay.
And the only other movies that he's done have been every movie he's directed, he's also written. And there were probably about like 6 or 7 of them on there, and the 4 that he was known for
were
were all like film festival movies and like really artsy things, the ones that have all the film festival logos all over the poster and stuff like that. So one of them is 99 Homes, which had Michael Shannon in it, Man Push Cart,
Ugh.
Chop Shop, and
Man Push Cart is an awful name.
and Goodbye Solo. And I've never seen any of those, never even heard of any of those, so
Yeah.
who knows? But I mean, HBO trusts him, I guess.
I guess.
So-
I mean, I think that HBO has low stakes here because they're HBO. It's not like one bad movie would ruin them by any means.
Yeah, but I mean,
So, I mean, But, okay, so Michael B. Jordan, he's great.
well, Michael Shannon's good too. I feel like I haven't seen enough of Michael Shannon because I never got to see.
He's the white guy.
Yeah, he's basically the only thing I've really seen him in is Man of Steel because he was
Man
Zod,
of Steel. Oh, yeah.
and I saw him a little bit in Boardwalk Empire where he's
Yeah, I never
the
saw that.
cop in Boardwalk Empire, and he's pretty intense in that too. But I wanted to see that sci-fi movie that he was in where the kid has superpowers.
Oh, that looked really good. What was that called?
And I never saw what was that movie with the water monster?
Oh, I have no desire to see that. The one that just came out, The Shape of Water?
Shape of Water, that too, yeah.
Yeah, no. No thanks.
I mean, it won awards and stuff.
Oh, because that always means a movie's good.
It doesn't mean it's bad.
It looks real bad to me. And from what I've heard, it is not the type of thing I would want to see. However, I do want to see that other one. Do you remember what that was called where the kid had the weird thing? Gosh.
Not at all.
We did an episode on it, too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, years ago.
Years?
Yeah, we can say that now.
Can we?
Yeah.
I guess once you go over 1 year, you can say years.
Yeah.
Technically.
Well, I mean, it's been 2 years. Okay, so... Yeah, I don't know anything about this book. Charlie has read this book.
The only thing I remember from this book is that it's called Fahrenheit 451.
Okay. The title.
The
good.
book was banned for a long period of time.
Banned?
Yes.
So wait, hang on. You're telling me they banned a book that was about people burning books?
Yes. That's
the
kind
most
of,
idiotic thing I've ever heard in my life.
It came out in the 50s, and
They're
it's
like,
about censorship and about
Let's
how
censor this book that talks about how it's not cool to censor
and about how
things.
like the government is dangerous and you don't want them to control everything. It's just like how 1984 was banned for a long time.
Yeah, but that makes a little more sense to me because this is literally about burning books.
I
and they
think
kept the book from people.
That
That's ridiculous.
if you see this movie, that you'll realize why it was banned in the 50s.
I mean,
and
yeah, I
60s.
guess the 50s were a different time. Thank God I never lived in them.
Oh,
but You know, people like to oh, great old days with milkshakes and fries. Guess what? We still have milkshakes and fries, guys.
Fries, guys.
And it's much better today.
But yeah, and the one thing that I remember from it is because it's supposed to take place way in the future, and so there's all of this crazy technology that is around. And one of the things that I remember from it is the main character's wife or girlfriend or something, which doesn't.
Which
he
main
doesn't
character?
appear,
Michael B. Jordan's
yeah,
character?
doesn't appear to have one in this.
No, yeah.
And so maybe I'm just remembering a random part of it. She had a room that was like all four walls were TVs, and it was like an interactive soap opera, and the characters would respond to her, and she would interact with the characters and stuff like that.
Okay.
And she like never left her room. And so like
That's
she was all
depressing.
gross, and like her fingernails were all grown out and everything. She never took a
So
shower.
she was like severely mentally ill.
Right, she was like crazy addicted to it because of how good it made her feel, and like that's part of the thing also is that
That's
like
depressing.
new technology is dangerous and stuff
But
like that.
here's the thing. I mean, I realized it was written a long, long time ago, and somebody writing in the 50s couldn't have necessarily imagined the internet as it is today. But the idea that it was supposed to take place in the future and that they could just burn books to stop knowledge, like if there's a future with technology, why would you not imagine a future? You imagine a future where there's an interactive television world, but not a future where you can access that book online or wherever. I guess, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was beyond this writer's grasp to imagine that.
No, but I mean, you think about if the government can censor the internet, then they can just get rid of all of that.
Sure. But I'm just saying it would be like today, it's impossible to get rid of the books.
But I mean,
You can burn every book. We still have them. Almost every single book is digital now.
you can
Almost every single one.
so like there's like stuff in China, I think,
Mm-hmm.
where they don't let their citizens go to certain sites, and they get rid of stuff,
Yeah.
and they censor the internet.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely places like that. I just think that once you live in a place with knowledge, it's really hard to take that from people, because when they have the knowledge, they can rise up.
Because knowledge is power.
Exactly. So I get
But
this,
that's what
but,
they're trying to do.
But the
right.
point is, how do you even get there?
Well, watch the movie and find out.
I'm just saying, it seems so
Follow Michael B.
ridiculously
Jordan's journey.
far-fetched. It seems so far-fetched, even for a dystopian future. Like, that's the thing about 1984 that I remember. I read that in college. It did not seem that far-fetched at all. And especially today, it doesn't seem that far-fetched. I mean, the extent at which the government was in charge and, like, ruled people's lives doesn't seem realistic. But still, I mean, all of that was way more realistic than this. This is just so far-fetched.
Well, the more realistic version of 1984 that just happened was like The Circle.
Yeah, sure. Like
And obviously,
a
you
newer
know.
version, yeah.
Not as good, but
No.
whatever.
Whatever. I mean, yeah.
The book
Different.
was good, but
Different.
it's infuriating because, well, mostly because of the main character, but also because it's so close.
Well, it's
Like
infuriating because of how
1984
stupid
when
the
people-
characters are.
When people were reading it, it was like, here's all of this stuff
oh,
that's
that
way
would
off
be
into the
terrifying,
future
wouldn't
that,
it?
and if we're not careful, we could get to this point. And then The Circle is just like, this stuff is all already basically
They're like,
happening.
take everything that you already have, just add one more screen to it,
Right, exactly.
and then have Google take over the world.
Yeah, and then have one of the people in charge of Google has a translucent shark.
Well, that was so unimportant to
That
the
was
story.
my favorite part of the book.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, we digress. So I've never seen this book. Never read this book. Charlie has, but
Maybe I'll
he
read
doesn't
it.
remember.
Maybe I'll try and read it before it comes
Because
out.
how old were you? You were young when you read
I was
it.
in middle school.
So there you
Yeah.
go. So it's a middle school book then?
I mean, it was for us.
Because I was wondering what level of reading it was, because that's what I was thinking too, is that it looks
It's any
like
level,
it's for
basically.
kids.
It's like, well, I mean, yeah, kind of, I guess.
Because like it's so over the top. It's I mean, like he starts off, and however, Michael B. Jordan is good for this role because he starts off in the trailer and he's like,
he's talking
so
to
have
kids.
any of y'all ever seen one of these bad things? And he like is holding up a book. It's funny. It's like laughable, but he does a good job. Like he's funny when he says it. It like works.
Yeah. I mean,
It works for him.
if he wasn't talking to kids, it would be stupid.
Yeah. One of these bad
One
things.
of these bad things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested.
I am very interested. I think
I mean,
that
it's Michael B. Jordan. If it wasn't
the
him,
way that it looks
I wouldn't be
and the way
interested.
that the story is set up, even though simplistic and kind of far-fetched,
yeah.
and the way that they, go about it, kind of reminds me of a older, 80s-ish
oh yeah,
movie.
it kind of reminds me of Dark City,
Okay.
and it also kind of reminds me of the movie Double. Do you remember that weird?
Well, yeah,
ass
and I
movie?
was gonna kind of compare it to Blade Runner if Blade Runner were fun.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It has a darkness to it. All these movies I've named have really like dark, like absence of color.
And
Actual
it's just like
absence of
for some
color in
reason
the
it's always night,
world.
no
Yeah.
matter what.
It always feels like night. It's always everything's gray. Half the time it's raining. That's these movies. So yeah, you're right. Blade Runner, the original at least. You've got Double, which is a weird ass movie, and you've got
Yeah, maybe don't see Double.
I mean, but I'm not sad that I saw it. Like, I feel like I'm better for seeing it, but I
Better?
would never go through it again. It made me think so much. It like blew my mind. But so okay, Double, whatever. That's weird. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you just feel like you're in for something weird for the night, go for it. And then what was the other one? Dark City, which is a good movie, but it's really old, so it's very dated.
Uh-huh.
It's like from the 80s, like you said. Sorry, when I just said it was really old, it's from the 80s. It reminded me of Spider-Man. Have you ever heard of this really old movie?
Hey, well, I mean, you're almost getting to the territory where that's almost 40 years old at this point.
Exactly. Well, anyways, Dark City's a good movie, but it is dated. It feels dated. But it's very sci-fi and far-fetched. I think that's the thing. When you're going into sci-fi dystopian territory, it's okay if it's far-fetched. You just have to go into it being like, I'm just going to go with it.
And they all have
This
their
isn't
like
reality. This is a weird world where this would work.
They all have their weird like nonsense like leather uniforms, black leather uniforms that they all wear for no
Yeah.
reason. Like none
in
of
future
their
movies-
uniforms are like functional in any sort of way. They're just made to look
It's
scary.
so weird that in movies that show dystopian futures, there's always like a uniform.
Everyone's wearing uniforms all
You
the time.
can't even instill uniforms in a lot of schools. There, you'll have little children riots on your hands.
Yeah, I would have let a children riot
Exactly.
if I had to wear a uniform.
I would have too. They used to ask us like, "What's your opinion? What do you think? Should we wear uniforms?" We're like, no.
And
So
that
I'm
worked.
just saying,
Wow.
there's no way. I'm just saying, why do people think that there's going to be a future where we all wear uniforms? We're all going to agree on one uniform. Take a like countrywide vote.
Have you ever had like
Do you guys want the white uniform or the blue uniform? Could I just wear whatever I want, please?
Have you ever had like a group of people in a meeting try to agree on like a tagline for something?
Exactly.
It takes months.
So that's one thing. If you're a writer and you're thinking about writing a dystopian future type novel, don't have people in a uniform. Doesn't make any sense.
Don't put us in a uniform.
Don't be ridiculous.
You'll have a children riot on your hand.
Yeah.
On your hand.
All right. Do we want to talk about?
Where?
Yeah.
When and why?
That's where I was going. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where? When? How? Are you gonna see this movie?
Okay. So I'll get started.
Why?
First of all, there's only one place you can see it, to our knowledge, which is HBO.
And then they call it a TV movie, but it's not TV.
Will I see it?
It's HBO.
Yeah. Will I see it? Yeah, I think I will because we have access to HBO Go and it is Michael B. Jordan, but I legitimately don't think I would watch it ever if it was an actor I didn't know. If the main actor was somebody I didn't know, I wouldn't watch it.
And that might be why they
absolutely.
pushed for him
I
so
mean,
badly.
Like even with the other guy, the white guy that's
Guy
Zod,
Montag.
the guy that plays Zod, that guy.
Well, apparently he's been in a few of this guy's other movies.
Well, I'm just saying I recognize that guy, but that wouldn't have been enough. I needed a famous actor to pull me in. There's no way I
Wow,
would watch
shots fired at Michael Shannon.
I'm sorry, Michael Shannon. I barely know who you are.
He's been in so many movies.
You're Zod in a bad Superman movie.
I liked him in that though.
Yeah, I didn't
I thought
have a
he was
problem
good
with
in that.
him. I'm just saying he's not going to make me watch what looks to be not a not great movie.
We should watch Boardwalk Empire.
Okay, we're getting off topic. Michael Bay Jordan.
Michael Bay, director
Um,
of Transformers.
He
Jordan.
is a great actor, a charismatic person,
Oh my goodness.
has a great smile, And I'm interested to see him in this role because it is weird because he's playing the cop, basically. He's playing like the bad guy authority figure. And
Who questions
and that's
his
part of it.
beliefs.
But that is
halfway
part of it,
through
by the way, is I think he didn't like the idea of playing a cop-like figure because he's like, no, I'm not going to be the
Well, and
he's
not
like,
even
I'm not
like
going to be an officer. Like,
not
he
even
didn't like that.
and like a cop that is like legitimately a bad guy.
Yeah, and so, but then I think the guy convinced him that this person that he plays, that his, I guess, awakening to the truth is worth exploring, and so he decided to do it. So, I mean, I think it'll be interesting. Michael B. Jordan has said that he wants to be the main guy and the hero of more things, which, I mean, doesn't everybody?
Yep.
I'd like to be a hero, but he was the bad guy in Black Panther. Of course, he wasn't going to turn that opportunity down by any means, but I think he doesn't
hero
want
in
to always
Creed.
be. Yeah, he wants to be that. He doesn't want to just be the bad guy.
Or the person who dies.
Yeah, that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't want to be the person that dies.
Yeah.
I want to live and I want to be good. And he wants to make a lot of money.
So I am actually really excited to see this. Like, I feel like
Okay.
it's got a feeling to it that I haven't seen in a long time.
It's like you said, it does feel very 80s, which is
And-
kind of fun.
And, the fact
Sometimes.
that it's going to be, free basically on
Yeah.
HBO, and you can just sit down and watch it as soon as it comes out, and just,
If you don't have HBO, just use somebody else's login.
and at the very, very least,
Or visit a friend's house who has HBO.
Michael B. Jordan and Michael Shannon will be good.
Yeah.
And,
I agree.
Michael Shannon will be creepy, and Michael B. Jordan will be a hero.
I think it'll be fun to watch Michael B. Jordan when he's still all book hating.
Yeah,
Because it makes me laugh when he's like, "You ever seen one of these bad things?" I feel like he's gonna be so into it, like so into burning these books,
Now-
and then all of a sudden there's gonna be a huge switch.
I don't think that there will be very much like a 80s, like the ones that we're comparing it to. I don't think that there will be a lot of action in it.
No.
There will be a lot of him thinking and walking around
He's
and
having dreams. I'm trying to figure out how he has this awakening,
talking
I don't really
to
know.
people very quietly and all of this
Yeah.
different stuff.
which
And-
happens though. That's how it is in Dark City.
Yeah, and
It's
so
very much like
I
that.
think that's the movie you're gonna get. So go into it expecting that.
Well, I'm not excited about the movie, but we've mentioned this before. Back in the day when we were talking about the movie Bright with Will Smith, I'm like, if you can just go home and turn on your TV and have Will Smith in a movie on your TV, do it. I mean, I said it more like, if you can just go home and Will Smith's in your living room, of course, why not? But that's what it is. Like, you could just go home one day when this comes out, go to your HBO Go or whatever, and then there's Michael B. Jordan. Boom, he's right there for you. Specifically for you.
No, he's there for me.
Exactly. He's there for each of us. It's like in the Spider-Man ride at Universal Studios. No,
Wow.
Islands of Adventure. He hops on the car and he says, "I need you." And every single person in the car, it looks like he's pointing to you. I don't know how they do it. 3D technology, man.
3D technology. those wacky glasses, those red and blue glasses. All right, let's move on to Rotten Tomatoes percentage guesses
Okay.
time. Rotten Tomatoes percentages. Rotten Tomatoes, time to guess those percentages. I am going to say that the critics are going to give this movie a 77%, and that the audience is going to give this movie a 71%.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a boring guess, but yeah, I was going to say 75% critics,
Yeah, because, okay, so obviously I don't
which is
think
good
that
for
it's-
this type of a movie.
But, I mean, I do think that it has the potential to be really great or really bad also.
no matter what, it'll feel dated and far-fetched. So even if it's a really good movie, I don't
But
think it can get much higher than
I honestly think that they're going to
70-something%.
do a good job of explaining someone or some entity took over the internet and deleted all of the stuff that they thought shouldn't be on there.
Maybe. And then audience, I think, might be a little bored with it. Give it 67%.
Guy Montag, 67, really?
I mean, I don't know. Honestly,
It's possible, I
I've
guess.
looked back
Yeah.
over our guesses over the years, and we're not great at this guessing.
No, we're
thing.
very good at it. Sometimes the critics
Well,
are
you're
bad
right. Actually-
at matching us.
No, but actually, we are pretty good. Usually, we get if we just did thumbs up, thumbs down, we're usually good. We're usually right about whether it's a fresh or rotten movie.
Oh yeah.
Usually. Every once in a while, you'll get real shocked by the scores.
Oh, real shock.
Yeah. But, yeah. So, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, I'm excited
That
about it.
other guy.
I really think that it's going to be a breath of fresh air compared to all of the movies, all of the sci-fi movies that we have been getting, which, don't get me wrong, are amazing. Like Marvel movies and the new Star Wars movies and the new Star Trek
10
movies.
Cloverfield Lane.
And, stuff that is more intense and more thrilling and with more action scenes and stuff like that. All of that stuff I love. But
It's
I
fun
think
to
that
sometimes.
this will be an interesting change of pace at the
Well, this
at the
isn't
very
sci-fi
least.
really. It's a dystopian future, and dystopian movies and books are always very popular because for some reason we as people love to imagine what if things were way, way worse. Maybe the reason we like to do that is because when things are bad, we can always say, well, at least they're not burning our books.
That's
At
true.
least there's no Hunger Games,
At least there's no Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt made with
At
that
least
on
there's
it.
no Hunger Games. But that's a dystopian future. I mean, at least there's no Big Brother, right? I don't know. Maybe there is. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I think it's been proven that there is.
But there is no thought police. So that's good.
that you know of.
But anyway, I
The
think
dream police are inside of my head.
I think
of my
oh god.
head.
Dave. I think that it'll be interesting, and I'm hoping that it's
Whoa.
at least as good as, gosh, that's hard to say, the movie Bright with Will Smith, because that got like a 67%, I think, and it probably deserved about a 67, maybe 72%.
Yeah.
That
was
fun.
one of those where I knew that it was not great
Well,
while
it was
I was
a lower
watching
budget.
it, but I was into it.
It was a good story. So even though it was
It was
weird,
an okay story.
no, it was a good story. It was a good story. It could have been better. It had so much potential, though.
What do you think that story was?
It was a story about hang on,
Uh-huh.
about racism.
No. What was the story?
Oh, the story basically Will Smith's a cop and he's paired up with this
You have 2 minutes.
orc, and everybody hates the orc because people are racist against orcs, and so he's trying to understand him, and lo and behold, they get their hands onto some dangerous girl who everybody's after, and they have to run away and try and save her. Turns out, well, I don't want to spoil it. But no, for real, it's interesting. Here's the thing. Go into it knowing that it's going to feel like a video game a lot of the time. Because it is. It's very weird. I mean, it's like they mix
But
Lord
okay,
of the Rings
the stuff with the
and elves.
dealing with the racism and the things where they put mythical creatures into our
Modern day.
world and
That was
people are afraid of them and all of this other stuff. That's
Magic.
interesting. But like the actual story that was happening that you were supposed to care about with the
It was a
different
classic
witches and the wand and all of that stuff.
It was a classic everybody's after the chosen one type of thing.
But they were after
That's
the
a classic.
wand. They weren't after the person.
The person was one of the few people that could wield the wand.
I
It-
guess. See,
they
this
were-
is where it
they
gets
were
confusing.
bright. Anyway,
Couldn't Will Smith do it?
I just said no spoilers.
No one. If you haven't seen that
Oh, God.
Netflix movie, you're not going
Will
to see
Smith
it.
didn't know he could hold it, okay? A bright doesn't know they're a bright until they hold the wand. And if they don't die, then they're a bright. So that's why nobody ever finds out they're a bright, because nobody wants to risk their life to hold some magic wand. It wasn't a wand. What was it, a scepter? I
No,
don't
it's
know.
a wand because it
You're
can do
right,
anything.
you're right.
It could grant any wishes, and
Well,
so that's why
anyway,
he had to kill all those
we
cops.
Are getting off topic. The point is, Will Smith, fun movie. I wish I would have seen
That
more.
was the topic.
No. Just this is what I'm going with. I wish that they would have shown more of Will Smith just being a grumpy man living in the city, like beating up a little
How has
fairy
this
on his
turned
front yard.
into a thing about Bright?
This is important because they're so similar.
I think it's your fault.
This is important.
And also, I don't
will
think
take
they're similar.
responsibility for this. They're similar in the fact that they're two amazing actors coming to your living room straight away.
One was
For
like
free.
a goofy
For free.
mythical creature in our world story
But it
written
wasn't
by
as
Max
goofy.
Landis.
It wasn't as
and
goofy
this
as
one
you would think.
is like one of the more famous novels of all time.
It wasn't as goofy as you would think. It had a lot of serious lessons and undertones. It was surprisingly good is all I'm saying. And this will hopefully be surprisingly good too, but I'm just saying I don't think it'll be much better than that. It might have had a bigger budget, so it might look better.
I think this is going to be better than it, but if
Doesn't matter. I'm just saying
the only reason
I
being
hope it's
that
at least
it
as good as Bright.
probably has better source material.
Sure, I suppose.
Besides whatever's going on in Max Landis's head.
So let's wrap it up a little bit. If you're cool with
Just
that.
a little bit or all the way?
Are you cool with it?
I'm always cool with everything.
So, thank you for listening. Of course, if you're new to the podcast, welcome. Tell your friends about us. Please rate and review us on iTunes. It helps other people to find us. And like us on Facebook, Movie Trailer Trash Podcast, and follow us on Twitter at Movie Trailer Trash. Again,
Nope.
there's a...
At MTT Podcast.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. My bad.
And our website is mttpodcast.com.
I got a little carried away.
You can also...
Hang on.
What?
I was going to say, again, you can get a free Audible download. And I just wanted to say, I went and got a free Audible download. You get 2 free downloads for 1 month. And I got Trevor Noah's book, Born a Crime. It is an Audible exclusive, so you can only hear the audiobook if you have Audible. So that is a great reason to go run out and get your free trial, because literally I just got the 2 free books and then got rid of my trial. That's how I do it.
You don't have to keep saying that.
That's how I do it. The point is though, I might go back again. Who knows? But this book is fantastic. It's so worth it. It's amazing. Trevor Noah, Born a Crime. It's a story about his life growing up in South Africa and being born during apartheid. Oh my gosh, it's so freaking fantastic.
There you go. So yeah, use that Audible thing. You can do one of the downloads will be Trevor Noah's book. One of them will be Fahrenheit 451, and you'll be all ready for the end of May.
Yeah, and then, or whatever you want.
And as always, you can follow Entertainment Buffet at Entertainment Buffet and subscribe to their YouTube channel as well.
Yes.
See you later, everybody.
Thanks, guys.